Okay, well, moving on. Quality Digest has seen a lot of software and hardware technology, like 3D printing, over the past year, whose sole intent really has been to give companies a more holistic view of their operations. And we're talking everything from overseeing the supply chain, to monitoring social media perceptions of your company, to capturing all the data of your entire manufacturing process in real time. We believe that all these changes are having a profound effect on the quality profession. Now, a company that we work with quite a bit, LNS Research, spends a lot of time looking at some of these technologies, particularly the software aspect. But once again, we are happy to have on our show Matt Littlefield, President and Principal Analyst for LNS Research. Hey, Matt.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. So this is a favorite topic of mine. I mean, there's a lot of technology. You guys deal with it a lot, I think mostly from software, that really, within the last few years, I would say less than a decade, within the last 5 or 6 years, is really allowing companies to really get an in-depth view of pretty much everything that's going on from their supply chain to the actual operations. I mean, is LNS Research seeing a lot of that themselves?
Yeah, Dirk, you're exactly right. The Internet of Things, mobile, big data, cloud are all converging in our consumer lives to drive new applications and new ways to create visibility among things we do on a day-to-day basis. And we're pulling that in now to the industrial space and is driving, I think, a lot of innovation in how companies are thinking about their quality processes and quality in general. So specifically around EQMS, which we've done a lot of research on, and how companies use software to manage those core quality processes, we're now seeing that being pushed out into the supply chain and capturing and using things like cloud or mobile to enhance that overall experience.
And how is mobile playing into this? I mean, we're seeing more and more that smartphones in particular are being used for absolutely everything. And are those working their way into, I don't know, auditing or supply chain monitoring or what have you?
They certainly are, and they're doing it in a number of different ways. More and more we're seeing companies not doing web-enabled software, but native software to the mobile devices, which allows them to capture and use the value of the device, the functionality of the device. So even the simple thing of capturing a picture and putting that into the product record, you couldn't do that a couple years ago. If you did, you had to upload it with a digital camera to a SharePoint site, not really connected to the rest of the workflow or the process. So by using this technology and embedding it, you see a much more holistic picture of the technology and the data capture throughout.
Now, how are companies accepting this? I mean, it's one thing, I guess, to work with one of your direct suppliers and say, look, we want to establish some sort of software and hardware connection so we can monitor what you're doing. How easy is it to get them to roll that same technology out to their suppliers so that basically from the top down, I have a complete view of my supply chain, including my supplier's suppliers? Does that have any kind of acceptance?
It's a real challenge for companies today. It's something that takes good management skills. It's not just a technology issue. And very often it starts with getting your own house in order. So you have to be able to successfully roll these softwares and business processes out across your enterprise and have a good sense of how they work, what the pitfalls are. And then when you start rolling it out to your supply base, it can't feel like Big Brother wants to squeeze the margins, have visibility into what might be going wrong. Rather, it has to be sold into the supply base as these tools are working for us. They're helping us improve the manufacturing that we're doing, and we think it could help you, Mr. Supplier, improve your own manufacturing processes as well. And there's going to be shared benefit to you being more efficient and having that increased visibility across multiple nodes of the supply chain. So that's how we're seeing it being successful. And there are plenty of failures out there when you don't have that shared benefit, collaborative approach in selling these programs and use of technology into the supply base.
Just out of curiosity, is there any kind of, maybe that you've heard of coming down the line, any kind of regulatory requirements or anything like that for let's say FDA regulated companies or the other companies that fall under some sort of legal constraints that they start implementing some sort of EQMS? Or is this strictly just kind of a volunteer thing at the moment?
It's really, from what we're seeing, market dynamics driving contract manufacturing in the life sciences. Pharma is a huge issue. Medical device, it's also upcoming, where you're seeing more and more outsourced and contract manufacturing. So that means when you do collaboration, you have IP issues, but you also have regulatory issues, which is a challenge for using a lot of the free tools that might be used in other industries or close to free. So think Dropbox, for example, is an incredibly easy to use collaborative tool that can go across boundaries of different companies. The challenge is complying to regulations and security desires with portals like that. So we're seeing a number of the quality management software vendors building capabilities like that into their own platforms, where you also have the version control, you have the signature control that make sure that you're conforming with regulations and also your own internal policies around security.
And signature control, that is actually kind of a key. That's a key element of of FDA, right?
It sure is. Yeah.
What was it? CFR? What is that?
Yeah, CFR part 11. It's a big part.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, Mike, Matt, we just have a minute here, but I do want to point out that yourself and me and Mark Biankowski, who is a supplier quality process and audit manager of GE Healthcare, are going to be doing a webinar next Thursday, December 19th at 11 a.m. Pacific. And I believe one of the things Mark is going to be doing is kind of and tell me if I'm right, Matt, is kind of a case study of how GE Healthcare is actually implementing this within their organization. Is that right?
Yeah, it's really an exciting story. They've done some great things at GE, taking their PLM platform, extending it across their own operation, so using PLM as a basis for closed-loop quality. And now they've even taken it a step further and pushed many of those core quality processes, like audit management, like non-conformances, into their supply chain and use it within their suppliers as well. So it's a great story of taking closed-loop quality to the next level and even going beyond design into the supply chain.
Okay. Well, Matt, thank you. So, as we said, join Matt, myself, and Mark Biankowski from GE Healthcare next Thursday, December 19th at 11 a.m. Pacific. There is a link to a story that has within it a link to register for the webinar.
That webinar right there, that's right.
That's a long way about it.
Yeah, but it's there, so just check that out. And again, Matt, thanks for joining us today on the show. We'll look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
See ya, bye. And again, yes, that's Thursday, the 19th. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. here on the West Coast. Yep. And you can check it out. Again, the story was actually written by Mike Roberts in the LNS.
Who's also from LNS.
From LNS, in the LNS organization. So again, just check out Mike Roberts' article right below the player page right down there. And go out and navigate right out and register for the webinar. It's going to be a good one. Matt always does a great job. Dirk, you always do a great job with those webinars. And
I just show up.
And show up and look pretty. You always do.
Show up and look pretty.
That's right. And